Some people stick out like a nail in wood. Others have been nailed to wood. But only one got back up again. So let's stick out as we Godot4it. I'm going to do a quick 2D game and record as I do it. Now, let's say you have an awesome project that you copied to another computer. You copied the file folder and now you need to bring it into the Godot engine. Well, you can use scan or you can use import. Scan, you can check a folder. You can click on a folder. It'll scan the entire folder for projects and bring them all in. This is great if you want to bring in all of the projects, all the test projects that are on the Godot website. But let's just use import. Project path must exist. Browse. Since my Godot exe is in my Godot folder, I have my projects here. And I go planet clicker engine.cfg. You probably can't see that well because YouTube has undoubtedly given you a crappy version of this video. I'd probably also, anyway, you click create and there it is. I've probably also taken the liberty of boosting the sound, which may or may not have changed the resolution. So we double click on the project and here we have the project. We do maximize 2D, 3D, 2D. Okay, scene, open scene, scenes, game.scene, because I've already started doing this. Now, something to note. The button, if you give it an image, will take the size of the image. And then you cannot resize it any smaller than the image that you have given it, which is a pain. But you can resize a sprite, and then you can put the button as a child of the sprite. I have here a node 2D, camera 2D turned into the node 2D, sprite to node 2D, and button to sprite. If we click this square here, the square with the arrow in it, or a squarrow, we can see that we have a button with a water drop on it. Now, if you're unable to read the title, it reads Planet Clicker. If any of you have played Cookie Clicker, this will be similar. About as similar as Final Fantasy is to Pokemon. I don't know which is better. I'll let the fanboys fight over that one. We click close. Now, originally in 1.0, when you click the close button, it gave you an error. You had to use, I believe it was F8 to stop the scene. In Cam Studio, that becomes a fun error. That is why I'm using Ice Cream, which, as far as I know, works pretty well. Also, Ice Cream will allow you to access your audio properties, and you can change the properties for your microphone. I suggest using Bass Boost, and then using, I believe it is Smart FFmpeg to boost the sound, which I got on Softpedia, which is where I recommend people go if they want programs without viruses. Seriously, I go there all the time. Now, I have looked over a little bit some of the tutorials from Game from Scratch. I'm going to erase these selected nodes. Oh no, you deleted the nodes! Okay. V-E-R-T. Okay. A-R-R. Ah. Vertical button array. No. Ah. V. Menu, checkbox, menu button, option, texture button. Box container. Horizontal box container, otherwise known as H-box container. Underneath is color picker. But there's also the V-box container. Now, the great thing about horizontal box containers and vertical box containers is that their children are arranged either horizontally or vertically. I am going to overlay some sprites, and I will create them later in GIMP. So we use the vertical box container, which is connected to the node 2D, I believe. If not, there is a little button here. It looks like an L with an undo arrow. You click on that, and whatever node you have selected, you can reparent to another node. Click on node 2D and reparent. Oh, it was already parented there. But we can do and parent it to the camera 2D. And as you see, it's indented under the camera 2D. 2D or not 2D? I think I did that one already. Sorry, guys. Okay, vertical box container. Let's resize this a bit. Now, that looks good. We're going to have over here the planet that you will click on. Over here, the elements that you will buy, the planets you create, and possibly the extra stuffs that you unlock, and maybe a small thing for... No, I'm not going to do any mouse boosts like Cookie Clicker does. I'm going to have the elements you buy give you boosts. Now, screen new projects, Godot4it, textures, no. Wrong one. Planet Clicker. I have seen script sounds and sprites. Also known as... Never mind. Under sprites I have these. Let's zoom in as much as we can. Darkness, earth, I will probably call it matter. Fire, grace. If you don't know this, 5 is the number of grace. Thought you got out of the biblical stuff? No, you didn't. We have spirit. Oh, that's my sprites.xcf. Xenview MP opens XCF files. What do they do? Water and wind. It's pretty much going to go water, matter, wind, fire, then grace, darkness, and spirit. So, let's get a little sprightly. S-P-R-I-T-E. Animated sprite or regular sprite? We're going to just do a regular sprite. And there's the V-box container, and there's the sprite. Oh, goody. It's right there. New image texture. Oh no, we don't want new image texture. We want to load. And we go to sprites. And we go to water. Okay, so. That's big. That's very big. Okay. When you click on sprite, you have underneath the property and values, you have texture, centered, offset, flip H, flip V, blah, blah. Blah. I'll go through these whenever. Okay, we're going to click on scale, and we click on it, and we do 0.5 and 0.5 and hit enter. Oh good, that does nothing. Well, it does something. It made it half as big. 0.1. That's 0.1. Click on it again, do 0.2. Click on Y, do 0.2, and click enter. That looks good-ish. Ish. Position 0, 0, that's at the center. Okay. 32, 32, let's try that. It is way over there. 5, 5. Okay. 5, 0. 5, 5. 5, 4. 5, 1. 5, 2. 5, 3. Sometimes you just have to adjust a few things very carefully. Okay, 5, 3. We have the position at 5 and 3. That's on sprite, under node 2D, under transform, we have position. We can do rotation and scale. So positions at 5 and 3, scales at 0.2 and 0.2. Now that 5 and 3 is actually based on the vertical box container. Let's do 3 and 3. Vertical box, sprite, vertical box, sprite. Okay, now unfortunately you can't select both at the same time. So let's do button B-U-T-T, button. Now under button you have checkbox, check button, color picker button, menu button, option button, tool button, and texture button, and button group, and a whole bunch of button stuff. We're just gonna click on button and create. Now, right. Visible on, behind parent, blend mode, mix, add. Really keep blend mode the same. You don't really need material right now. Pause mode, inherit. We're really not going to do pause mode. Now, with the button, you can resize it. Let's resize it, and then you've got all these colors: horizontal separation, opacity, self-opacity. Okay, button. Under canvas item, under visibility, you have behind parent. Click that on. And there, you can resize it with these little round balls really easily. Here's parent on, off. I don't entirely know why you'd use that, but I'm pretty sure there's a reason. So, we have a button with a sprite over it. Now, if I went to a button, I chose icon, and I chose load, and chose water, and open. You can kind of see it's a specific size. I am tempted to keep it like that. But let's see if we can resize it. 32, 32, and you can't really resize it. It stays at 4840. You can have a tool tip for when the player hovers over it, which is great. In fact, Godot game engine has a lot of really good text handling. And then you've got your themes and custom styles and custom fonts and colors. And but let's just go up here. Let's use icon and clear. And then we can resize it. So let's look at the size, 2832. Let's do 3232. Okay. 2832. Looks better. Now, let's rename sprite to water, S-P-R-I-T-E, water sprite. Let's rename button to W-A-T-E-R-B-U-T-T-O. In water button with a capital W and a capital B. Oh boy, we cannot rename it. Why not? W-A-T-E-R-B-U-T-T-O. Okay. I must not have hit enter hard enough. Water sprite. Let's click on this little arrow to minimize it. Now, remember that button that says reparent selected nodes. If you hover over it, you will get that. Let's go to duplicate selected nodes, or you can use Control D. That sounds similar, like Blender. Okay, water sprite and water button. This water sprite's at position 3-3. Water sprite 1 at position no. 3-3. 3-9. 3-10. Let's give him a little space. And we do M-A-T-T-E-R-S-P-R-I-T-E matter sprite. Oh, come on. M-A-T-T-E-R-S-P-R-I-T-E, Control A, Control C. Oh, crap. Control A brings up the search. Enter. And you can't, can you copy it? Control C copies. So as soon as you click on something, Control C will copy what's selected. Control V, enter. We don't need matter sprite, we need matter. B-U-T-T-O-N. You can have two nodes with the same exact name, but you cannot have two identical trees. So we have water sprite and matter sprite, and if we hit the play button, and we can click on them and close it. Now then, vertical box container. Let's give it a script. GD script, path, scripts. Okay. Let's go with B-U-T-T-O-N-S, buttons. And put .gd just in case this doesn't do it, because I have done it before and it's given me a .res. .gd allows you to bring it into Notepad++. So we click save. And for class name, we're going to leave that blank. Built-in script. We're going to say off, because built-in script will build it into your project, I guess. So, built-in script is off, and we choose create. Function ready. Okay. Let's click on 2D, and let's expand water sprite and click on water button. Now, let's click on matter sprite and load earth. Open. Control Z. Don't undo that. It'll be okay. It's just a little missized. It's okay. It's okay. So we click on water button. Now, most people who first deal with Godot, like I did, don't know this little trick. Okay. And I had to figure it out myself. Well, I figured it out myself, I think. But the Godot engine IRC channel is great. It's hashtag, or the pound sign, or octothorpe, Godot engine, all in lowercase. Now, for our script, we have buttons.gd, and we have to make sure that when you click on a button, something happens. Now, you can go into help and do the button thing, but I'm going to show you something really spiffy. Click on water button to select it, and there's at the top, right under scene, a sheet of paper. Add, create a new node. The plus, which is instance a scene file as a node. There's square arrows, circle thing, replace a node by another node type. And then you have the plug. And that edits node connections. You also have a double thing called a double circle called edit the node groups, and you have edit create the node script. It looks like a scroll. You already know add create new node. Instance a scene file as a node. You can save a scene and bring it in a scene as a node. Replace a node by another node type. Let's say you have water button. You don't want water button to be a button. You want it to be a vertical box container. You can click on that. The edit create the node script edits and creates a node script. Edit the node groups. This is super awesome. I'm going to tell you about it right now so you have a future reference point. You can group your nodes. It's kind of like Unity's tags, or like Blender's properties. You can put your nodes into groups, and then by their groups, do different things with the script. And you're probably telling me, shut up and get on with it. Okay, the plug. Edit the node connections. We've got water button selected, we click edit the node connections, and we get edit connections window. This, aside from editing the node groups, is the single most awesomest thing. Okay, second most awesomest thing. The most awesomest thing I've seen was that Godot, by default, will take a big block of text and parse it for me. So I can just toss it into a text container, and it'll have an automatic scroll at the edge. But with edit connections, we can do released, toggled, bool, pressed, focus enter, mouse enter, resize, minimum size change, size flags change, and all of these other things. These are different for each node, but okay. Released, toggled, bool, pressed, focus to enter, mouse enter. These usually deal with the buttons. Focus enter and mouse enter is when your mouse enters the button. Guy scrolls over something and you give it a tooltip. That's awesome. Pressed. That's if they press the mouse. Toggled, bool, pressed, and released. Now we're going to use released because if we use pressed and they hold the button down, it'll keep doing what we have on the button until they release it. So we're going to click on released, and we're going to click connect. Okay, connect to node. It is the node you have your script on. We have our script on the vertical box container. We click on the vertical box container. Path to node. Hit OK. On water button released. The method is the node. binds, extra parameters, boolean, add, remove, make function on, deferred, off. Pretty much I keep everything the way it is because I don't understand half of it. We click connect. On water button released and pass replaced with function body. So we're gonna do enter under our on water button released, and we're gonna hit tab because you have to do that when you first enter into a function. And I'm gonna try P-R-I-N. Well, this new code completion is awesome. And we're gonna print W-A-T-E-R, water. And we're gonna hit Control S, and that saves everything. The scene, all the scripts, and everything. Now if you have a whole bunch of really big scripts or really big scenes, it could take a little while. So we're going to click on the square arrow to play the edited scene, and click and click and click. Do we have anything? Click, 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 click. Click. Nope. Well, I'm going to go into my old Sky projects and scripts because it seems I've forgotten something. And we're going to do a Notepad++. Heads up display, inventory, item use. I'm looking through an old script. I tried to do screenshots in Godot. It didn't work. Don't know why. Oh, duh. Menu. Inventory pop and inventory hide. Function exit pressed. Released, toggled, pressed. Let's connect pressed. And we click connect. And print. P-R-E-S-S-E-D. Pressed water. Let me test it, and we click on it, and we have pressed water. I don't know why it's not working with released. Let me click close. Let me try it again. Click pressed, release, press, and release. Okay, so on water button pressed is when the player depresses the mouse. I don't know why on water button released doesn't work. That could be something specific to Android. But we can click on matter button, click the plug, pressed, connect, vertical box container, connect, Control C, enter, Control V. Oh yeah, we have to tab over, because it doesn't automatically tab. So pressed, and A-T-T-E-R, Control S to save, test, it out. Pressed matter and pressed water. So, we have our buttons, 2 of them, buttons 1 of 7 and 2 of 7 are ready to do things, and you've figured out how to connect buttons and have sprites in front of the buttons. Hopefully we'll do more